And then networking events themselves. I'm always a big fan of trying to get along to networking events where I think there's going to be the right environment for me to be able to flourish, and if it's one that's going to be too formal or whatever and it doesn't feel right, then feel free to give yourself a pass, and don't ever think you've got to get the business card or the sale at the first event you go to. Sometimes it takes time. I always look up the speakers. Is there a particular speaker I'd like to talk to? And if there's something about that speaker, do they have a book that may have come out that I can just have a look at? Some cases even get the book. But it may be a question of actually learning and understanding this is what is a topic that's important to them. I also look at who the delegates are at that particular event too, in case I want to mingle with those. And particularly if you're working in an industry like the life science, it can be very useful to identify those key people, those key opinion leaders, thought leaders you can talk to. I love opening questions that deal with a topic outside of work. Not everybody wants to hear I'm X and I'm from Y. So sometimes I think if you meet someone, it's great to ask the question about what's the story of your name. Obviously that's one I like, but actually the story of your name is a great one because most people will have a story, and then you'll remember their name. They'll remember that you're the one who asked about that, cared to find out. So it's a great way to build an early connection. I would also make introductions, so introduce other people so you make those connections. And at this same diverse directors program that I was talking about, there's one individual, and she says when she attends an event, she goes over at the sort of networking buffet and always grabs 2 drinks, because if she gets a bit caught up with someone she doesn't want to, she says, I must take this drink to my colleague, and then she can exit the conversation, which I thought is brilliant. But there are certain ways you can do that. It's very often that if you're talking to someone and you see 2 people facing each other, then it's quite hard to break into that conversation, so you might want to hang back because that'd be quite personal. As soon as they open up and maybe they're standing next to each other in space, that's like a welcome invitation, and that's your opportunity to join that group. And in some cases, if you do need to escape, having had that conversation, bring someone else you do know into the group, introduce them to those 2, and then you can use that as an exit. Everybody understands that if you're at a networking event, you're trying to get around the room, as it were, and meet lots of people. So they won't be offended if you say, I hope you don't mind, but I do want to go and connect with X or Y before they leave. So don't be afraid to say that, even if it feels uncomfortable at times. And the last thing I'd do is always think at the end of the sort of meeting is send yourself some little notes. I sometimes text myself and then I'm surprised by the texts when they come through. But I send a message to remind myself of what that person said, maybe something about them so they stick. Of course you can connect with LinkedIn, and I would say ask first, so would it be alright if I connect with you afterwards? But also if there's other formats that they might want to have contact with, use those too.